Gemini, you didn't become the caretaker by choice. You became one because no one ever cared for you properly. And somewhere along the way, you learned that love meant carrying other people's pain while hiding your own. Let's be clear about something. Geminis weren't born helpful. You weren't born emotionally intelligent. You weren't born knowing how to read the room, manage other people's feelings, or turn pain into humor. You were taught. You were taught because you had to be, because the adults around you were emotionally unavailable, unstable, or overwhelmed. And you, still a child, learned that if you wanted safety, connection, or even just peace, you had to create it yourself. Here's the wound most people miss. Geminis weren't destroyed by chaos. You weren't traumatized by loud fights or dramatic breakdowns. You were hurt by being unseen. You were the child who watched, who listened, who tried to understand why the people around you couldn't regulate themselves. And when you needed comfort, when you were scared or sad or just small, there was no one there. So you learned to be the observer, the one who takes care of everyone else. Because if you could just make things better for them, maybe you'd finally be seen too. This is where it gets specific. Gemini, you didn't just become emotionally aware. You became an emotional translator. You learned to read micro-expressions before the anger hit tone shifts that signaled danger silence that meant withdrawal. The exact moment someone was about to break, you became fluent in other people's emotional languages before you even had one of your own. And here's the part that breaks you as an adult. You're still doing it. You're still reading, still translating, still managing emotional climates that aren't yours to manage. Because you never learned how to just be a person. You learned how to be a system. Now let's talk about why you're so magnetic. Why you're funny, quick, intelligent, creative. Why people are drawn to you. It's not because you're naturally charismatic. It's because you learned that being interesting was the only way to be loved. Gemini, your shine? It's a compensation mechanism. You perform because the real you, the quiet, tired, hurting you, was never enough to earn attention. So you became the entertainer, the clever one, the one with all the words. And now you're trapped. Because if you stop performing, you're terrified people will see the truth. That you're still that invisible child, desperate to matter. Let's deal with the ghosting, the disappearing, the I don't need anyone energy. Here's what people get wrong about you, Gemini. You don't push people away because you don't need them. You push them away because you never learned how to depend on anyone safely. Every time you tried to need someone as a child, they weren't there. Or worse, they punished you for it. So you learned that needing people is dangerous, that vulnerability gets weaponized, that the only safe place is self-reliance. And now, you ghost before they can abandon you. You say, I'm fine, before they can prove they won't show up. You isolate before intimacy can hurt you. Your independence isn't strength. It's a survival mechanism, and it's keeping you alone. So what does this look like in your adult life? You overgive in every relationship. You're the therapist friend, the problem solver, the emotional anchor, and you're exhausted. You attract broken people who need fixing. Because unconsciously, you still believe your value comes from how much you can carry. You hide your breakdowns. You laugh off your pain. You intellectualize your trauma instead of feeling it. And the cruelest part? You feel invisible all over again. Because people see your persona, the smart, capable, unshuckable Gemini, but they don't see you. The you that's tired. The you that wants to be held. The you that just needs someone to show up the way you always show up for them. You've built a life where you're surrounded by people but still emotionally alone. Everyone talks about Gemini duality like it's about being social versus antisocial, outgoing versus introverted. That's surface level. Here's your real duality, Gemini. One side of you desperately wants connection, wants to be loved, wants to be seen and chosen and cared for. The other side is terrified of needing it, rejects intimacy, runs before it gets too close, protects itself by staying unreachable. One side wants to be vulnerable. The other side punishes you for trying. This isn't about having two personalities. This is about being at war with your own needs. And that war? It's been going on since childhood. So how do you heal this? How do you stop being the caretaker and start being the person who's cared for? Here's your path forward. 1. Stop caretaking by default. Before you jump in to fix, help, or manage someone's emotions, pause. Ask yourself, is this mine to carry? Most of the time, it's not. 2. Share one real emotion without deflecting. Don't laugh it off. Don't intellectualize it. Just say, I'm hurt. I'm tired. I need help. One emotion. That's it. This rewires everything. 3. Choose people who reciprocate. Not people who need you. Not projects. Not emotional parasites. Choose people who show up for you the way you show up for them. 4. Let people prove their capacity first. Stop being the emotional parent in every relationship. Let them go first. Let them show you they can hold space before you hand them your heart. 5. Grieve the childhood you didn't get. You needed to be cared for. You needed someone to see you, to carry you, to tell you that you mattered, even when you weren't useful. You didn't get that. And that's not your fault. Gemini, your emotional intelligence wasn't a gift. Your caretaking wasn't natural. Your independence wasn't a choice. It was survival. You became the caretaker because no one took care of you. You became strong because you had no other option. You learned to carry the world because no one ever carried you. But here's the truth they never told you. You don't have to do that anymore. You're allowed to be held, to be seen, to need people, to rest. Your strength was never natural. It was survival. Now you get to choose something better than being the caretaker. You get to choose being loved.